right, let's see what's going on here.
We set out to design a stealth electric bike.
Paying some bills, I guess. Test, 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 test. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Anybody out there in YouTube land? Let's see. Test, test. Can you guys hear me? Gotcha raw. All the way from Australia. Now, I am having one issue though. You know I'm not a professional in these things. I cannot. I should be able to see my video feed. Let's get out of studio mode. Let's see if I pop up there. We'll distort it. Alright, the Salazar group says it's all good. Alright, Ray. I hear you, and I'm not riding. Yeah, I was going to ride, but decided not to, man. I've had a good 5 days of training, so coupled with everything else, I decided to take a break today. So we're going to start off with the A category, and then the way I had it set up, I should be able to float through the different categories: B's, C's, D's. Do we have B's? I don't know if we have B's. It might be A, C, D, and E. And E is exclusive for the women, so should be cool. Aussie Advantage. So I did race last week in A's. It was probably by far the best result. And not even the result wasn't even that important. It was the sheer fact that I wasn't absolutely dying in the race. So I wouldn't say fitness is turning around. I definitely say that I'm learning how to race Zwift a little more and how to anticipate hills and turns and whatnot, and floating through the turns and use certain gears, stuff like that. So that's pretty good. And we had our team director, Wes Salzberger, all the way from Australia, down under. If you don't know about Wes, he is an ex-professional, racing on the highest level of the sport. I believe his last team was Orca. I'm not sure. I'm not a fanboy. I'm just a fan of him. Yeah. Anyway, looks like today's event is going to be fully packed. And you know what? Another thing I didn't want to race today after I started messing around. It's so hot. It's like 94 degrees, 95 degrees outside, and I didn't want to just go through all the sweating and pain again. So I'm just going to chill today, use it as a recovery day, and start back up tomorrow. I had every intentions to race, but didn't work out. Wes Salzberger said, "You had a great race, Raw. Course was hard, no rest." Yeah, it was good, and maybe I can attribute some of it to the Friday 100-mile ride I've been doing up to basically Point Magoo and back, and been doing it with a pretty decent group. We've been doing it under 5 hours. Our average time is around 4 hours, 40 minutes. Literally 50 miles out, 50 miles back. Some of it is junk miles. I got to get out of LA. But by the time I get to the coast, we're probably about, 35, 40 minutes in. And from that point, Friday morning, it's 8:15, 8:30. Traffic is going the other way coming into LA. We're going against traffic, so it's pretty easy, a little chill down to Point Magoo. So let's see who else I can find over in. Let's see. This is Aaron. Aaron is actually a Bahati Foundation member, and I believe he is in the C race, and I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's been getting some decent results, hanging out with his buddy, another Australian, Steve Boyce, and they train a lot together. They are definitely doing the B race. I know they are super competitive and probably help one another when it comes to the B race. So we're getting close. It's only about 3.5 minutes until launch off, and Aaron is a level 30 rider, so he's kicking my butt. I'm only at level 25, I believe, and I'm far away from a Tron bike. So if you guys wonder how I'm doing this, I'm actually using my cell phone, using the Zwift companion app to follow the people that I know and follow me back, and I'm able to kind of roll through this list of riders. For instance, like Vin, I work with Vin. I can find him and I can hit fan view, which I just did, and it skips me over to Vin, which, let's see, he's probably in the B's as well. So yeah, B's are stacked. They always have a bunch of riders, big group. We have a lot of Zwift employees in the event, including our CMO, which is pretty cool that he can find some time to participate in the game, that he gets out in front of the world. So that's kind of cool. Looking for him to have a big result. He's been kind of dangling around the top 10 for the last few days. Also, you guys chime in. Let me know what you think about the different courses that we're doing. If you like one over the other. I've personally been a big fan of the longer courses like Richmond, like we're doing tonight, like we did the London Classic Loop last week or 2 weeks ago. Probably skip back to the crit next week just to change it up. But yeah, would love to get you guys feedback. So we are getting down to the nitty gritty. 5:28. Each category is staggered by 1 minute. Last year, it's been that kind of year, seriously. Last week, we did overlap one group. I believe it was the D's. So the laps are not that long, roughly 3 minutes. So we'll continue to stagger the groups. I do like having all the groups on the course at one time. Maybe we'll change that up when it comes to the crit, but for now, everyone will be out on the same course. All right, let's see. Who are we going to start off with? Wow, I see Albert Shorts. I see Kenneth Vinson. I see Travis Johnson. Craig Taylor. Let's start off with Craig Taylor. He's definitely in the A race. Another Zwift employee, and he's a try guy, so he likes that one speed, you know what I mean? So he's going to be going straight. He could go straight and fast for a long time. Versus some of the other guys like Sean Jefferson. Critwit is a sprinter. I see Stefan from Chicago. That's nice to see. But Mike Hurley. So if you don't know about Mike, follow him. MH Paint. He's doing my custom paint job. The contest I just launched with Giant. You may have also seen my Giant Propel. He did that masterful work. So let's get going with Wes Salzberger. And here we go. We are off in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Uh-oh. What happened? Nothing happened. What's going on? Oh, there it is. That was weird. Let's see. So, we're glitching all over the place. Riding over the curb, but hopefully this works out pretty well for us, because what I'm seeing, it doesn't look right. People riding over the curbs. And, U-turn. just going to go ahead and let this kind of play itself out and see what's going on. Let me find another rider, see what he's looking at. Critwit. Critwit was in B's, so he changed his mind. So I need to go back to the A's and see if I can find Wes Salzberger. Will it work? There it is. All right, that's looking a little bit more normal. So only 15 riders today. I think this is by far the smallest group that we have had. Last week, I think we had 21 racers, and honestly, it was just enough for me because I was starting to dangle off the back a little bit, and if it wasn't for that, 20th, 21st, 22nd position, I would have had a hard time. So we'll see how these guys roll along. I'm going to skip over to see the start of another race because these guys are started now. So let's see if I could find Kate. There's Steve Boyce. Steve is in the B's race, and they are off 0.3 of a kilometer in. And my size group, 39 riders. This is the size group I need, so I can hide and stuff. But yeah, nice group. It seems to be a lot of people riding on Zwift right now, so that's good. It's been an influx of people joining the platform since our world took a turn with the pandemic, but it's been pretty cool. So I'm here live on YouTube. If you guys want to chime in, ask some questions, I'm here to answer. If you don't understand some things about the Zwift platform, Zwift racing, how to get started, what equipment you need, whatever it may be, I'm here. So I'll tell you my personal opinion about Zwift is a super convenient way to stay fit, to stay motivated, and get things done. I know a lot of people love riding outside. I believe everyone that works for Zwift love riding outside. But for me personally, it's such a convenient tool where you can knock out an hour and a half, which is honestly equivalent to something like going outside and riding 2 hours or 2.5 hours. So, and a lot of structured workouts you can gain in here, and you meet a lot of people from all over the world. I mean, you look at the right side of the screen and you can see all these different maps from Argentina, London, Australia, America. I see the Philippines, I see Colombia, and then Canada. The list just kind of goes on. So that's kind of cool that you can get in, represent your country, and have a go. So let's see if I can skip over to some other racers in different categories. Travis Johnson from Major Taylor, Los Angeles, is probably MC's race. I know that is a good. These guys are tripping, man. Yep, he is in the C's race. So I actually just rode with Travis, and he's interested in coming out and doing our Friday beatdown. So let's see if we can get a side view of Travis. There he is on his Specialized S work with his those shoes came from, what tour was that? I forget how he unlocked those shoes. Zwift Tour? No, that's not what it's called. Tour Watopia. So as you can see, there's a lot of Bahati Foundation kits in Zwift right now, and you may wonder, hey, why don't I have a kit? So what we did is you could join our club, and through the club, because I do fortunately have the kit in game, we're able to provide that kit to people who Zwift. 100% of the proceeds go to the Bahati Foundation, and we work in the inner city with the youth and try to inspire them to rise above the circumstances. So simple $75 donation helps cheering, and you can definitely donate more. So that's Travis, and he's making all sorts of U-turns. This thing is tripping. I wonder if they are seeing this as well, which we don't know. I have no idea to know if they are actually seeing the same thing that I'm seeing, but hopefully this thing can fix up a little bit. And I'm able to kind of change the view here. So this is that drone overhead view. So you can see they have a nice little pack here, 24 riders, and they are cruising along. I believe they are still in the lead in up to their official lap. So they haven't even got to their lap yet. So I'm gonna go back over to the A's race, see if I can find someone. Jason Paez, another Southern California racer, strong racer. As you see, he's doing 3.7 watts per kilo right now, and you can hear the sound effects in the background of the Richmond course, which I visited back in 2015 and saw Peter Sagan win his first World Championships in dominating fashion. And I tell you, man, this was well before I worked at Zwift, and they absolutely nailed how the course looks. When it comes to the terrain and buildings and whatnot. So they are almost to their U-turn where they will start officially their first lap. So what happens is we started on this paddock, that we call it. The start line is not the start finish. So after this 180 here, you will see the finishing better up ahead at about 500 meters, and this will be the official start of their 6-lap race. So they just spent the first 6 minutes and about 40 seconds leading into their lap. It's kind of cool. I see Esther Walker in the group. She's probably been dominating in the women's race, and she wanted to try her hand in the men's Cat A race, which is open to anyone. So now they had just crossed the finish line, and they are officially on their laps. So we were just following Paez to get a side view of Mr. Jason, and he's right there. Looks like, I'm not sure if he's in the orange or the blue. He definitely doesn't have braids, so all right, skipping along. Let's see who else I can try. GP Tony is another Bahati Foundation member, and they are thick in the C's race. Look at all those Bahati jerseys. Let's see if they have any teamwork. Seems like a lot of them are riding the S-Works Specialized with the zip wheels, matching head to toe, black to green. So what happens is the more you ride, the more you unlock. Some people ask, hey, can I buy certain things? You can buy things, but the only thing you can buy is equipment. So wheels and bikes. It used to be you can unlock those things, but now you use what we call drops. That's our Zwift currency. And so that Zwift currency is basically a cent per mile or a cent per kilometer, whatever conversion or metric you use. And the more drops you have, the more you can go into the shop and purchase things. So you're incentivized by riding a bunch, and that's how you get it. So I'm gonna go ahead and cruise over to YouTube and see what's going on with the questions. Laura says she's missing it. She had to work. Somebody got to work around here. No worries. We'll be doing this every week, and we actually are talking about putting it on the Zwift calendar where anyone can find it, and it'll be open to more people. But of course, that comes with another set of not really limitations, but things that you have to do, which we would have to opt in with power, just for the integrity of the event to make sure people are not cheating. Mike wants to know if you can unlock legs. You cannot unlock legs per se, but the more you ride, the better you will become. So we got to get Mike motivated so he can continue to train a little bit and get those legs popping. So I'm going to skip back over. Let's see if I can get some people in the E race. Who's in the E's? Let's see. You know, I want to see Kate Verino. Kate's a really, really strong rider. She's also a Zwift employee and does a lot of initiatives within the give back sector, specifically with women. But she'll also give you a beat down on the bike, so don't piss her off. So there's Kate. Look like she's rocking that purple Canyon, beautiful color, and I love purple bikes. I talked about her husband earlier. He actually paints a lot of the bikes that you see myself on, Kate's on. Kate has one of the coolest bikes in the real world that I've ever seen. It's painted like giraffe, which I think is super creative and fitting for her. She's a ex-basketball player, and she's fairly tall, above average for women, and will dunk on you and will beat you down on the bike. So I think the bike that her husband painted, MH Paint, you can find him on Instagram. Super cool. Too bad that bike is not in the game. See if I can get a different view of Kate. So they actually, the Bs have the biggest field, look like almost 40 riders. That's the type of field I need. Shannon. Let's see which race Shannon's in. Skip over. Let's see if I can get into the women's event. So Shannon was in the Bs race, and it looks like she potentially could have had some sort of mechanical. Let's see what's going on there. Or dropout. Something's going on where Shannon is not in the group. But I will be able to skip over back to the A's. And the Aussie looks like he got the polka dot jersey already in the A's race. So they are 8.8 kilometers in. And is he off the front? Oh, my goodness. Was that an attack? What is going on there? Attacking into the turn. Maybe he's going for the green jersey. So you actually can get jerseys within the game. So just like in other races in real life, like the Tour de France, you have the green jersey, the polka dot jersey, young rider. Unfortunately, there's no young rider, but you can carry that jersey throughout this race and not win, but still carry the fastest sprint. So right now, Kay Lewis has the fastest sprint at 16.53, and he just came in at 16.75. So a little bit off the pace. That will give him 7th of all time, our best in this event today. So looks like the A's are kind of just cruising along, and E. Chan is making these guys work for it. So the E's, I wonder if the E's race was so small. Yeah, so the women's only race is actually really small. Come on, ladies. 4 riders. That's all right. So it's 4 riders. They'll probably stay together for a while, and then whoever is the strongest is probably going to light them up and win the sprint. So I don't have any data on these riders. S. Lee, she's got an NV tag, and then we have P. Murray from San Diego, B. Anderson, and who else we have? H. Bates. So that should be a pretty competitive race for ladies out there competing against each other. And it looks like they're catching a group, like they're catching the D's. So they're definitely not playing around here. Nice spinning right there. They're on the custom carbon Zwift bike. So a lot of times you could tell how long someone has been riding Zwift by the equipment that they're on. This is our entry level Zwift bike. You can tell they're just kind of on the generic wheels and bike. So as they continue to race, when you race, train, free ride, group workouts, all of that goes into your drop. So yeah, they are overlapping some of the D's right now, which is kind of cool. So they're putting a hurt on some people here. Let's see what's going on in the D race. If I can find my cursor here. There it is. So let's see how many riders we have in the D's. So the D's look like only 9 riders. So I don't know. We'll keep an eye on the participation in these 2 groups. Maybe we combine the D's and the E's just so they have a bigger field. We'll play that by ear. And again, always interested in your feedback. So jumping over to YouTube, when will Zwift have Cannondale or Giant bikes? So they're both bikes are actually in the game. I just saw a couple giant TCRs. I'm personally I have the TCR and the Propel in my garage. I'm waiting on them to put those Cadex wheels into the game. And there's definitely Cannondale bikes in the game because we have done a lot of work with EF Foundation, specifically with Roberto Aran of EF Foundation. So you could look up what the unlock is to get those bikes. What you do is just go to the garage, find what you're looking for, and it'll say, hey, like level 35, this is how you get that bike. All right. So let's see what's going on in the Bees race. I'm going to go over to Steve Beckett, our British. Is Beckett from South London? I know he's not a Chelsea guy. I think he's from South London. Spent some time working with Team Sky, getting it off the ground, and as of late been with Zwift doing marketing as the chief marketing officer. So if you can kick his butt, you could have some bragging rights saying that you knocked down Steve Beckett. Also see Kate in there. So if you see a Z, the orange Z next to the person's name, they are a Zwift employee. So that's a kind of a cool badge who is working for Zwift and taking their talents to the platform. So it looks like they are all together. Steve was riding second wheel, but you can see how it kind of fluctuated if you're looking at the top of the bar. 27 out of 39. He was just second out of 39. So you move around pretty quickly. Oh, and he's on Tron bike, so he's been a lot of time riding. He's everested all those miles on Zwift. So you unlock that bike by opting into a challenge, and I forget how many miles you have to ride uphill, but it's a lot. I think when I did my calculation, I should have mine by sometime next year. So they are all together. Let's see if I can find. Let's see what Ken's doing. What race? Ken is in the C's race. Ken is my business partner in Methods to Winning. I was telling him about Zwift over, I don't know, the last 2 years. And nah, I don't need it. Nah. He's a Zwift fanatic now. He hardly likes to go outside. So, hey, Lord, to your point, if I get a side view here, Ken is on a green giant TCR with Zwift carbon wheels. So there it is. There's the bike that we were talking about. Let's see if I can get a better view of it. Nah. But anyway, that is the bike right there. So I would say most of the big manufacturers, they are in Zwift. So the Specializes, the Giants, the Cannondales, the Canyons. We even have Parley. And I'm sure there's others, but you just have to unlock. Well, oh, Ken's taking a pull. Watch out. This guy don't break the wind at all. Oh, Bahati Foundation all over the front. So I wonder if they had like a team meeting, because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 6 Bahati Foundation members in the group, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to make my way over back to the A's. It should be getting a little spicy over there. Let's see who I can find. Craig Taylor. Try guy. Oh, yeah, see? They're strung out. Let's get a bird's eye view of this. I probably should put some markers on my keyboard so I know what's the bird's eye view. So, yeah, look at that. A lot of Tron bikes out there. Man, I got to step my game up. Or is that another glitch? Let's see. No, a lot of Tron bikes. A lot of people have been riding Zwift with the lockdown. A lot of people went to Zwift and put in a lot of miles. So these guys are rolling 50 kilometers an hour right now. Craig is doing 329 watts. And they are overlapping the D's right now. So in a circuit race, not so bad to overlap. You can kind of keep an eye on what group is what. Now in Crit City, it gets a little difficult because the groups are much bigger. It's a perfect time to attack because if you're in the back, you kind of get lost in what group is what, and that's how I've got dropped like that plenty of times. And almost all the time it came on the hill. So in our last Crit City, we actually use a feature where you only see your own category, which is cool, but I kind of like the element of just adding more variables to the event, even though I was getting dropped, whatever. So we might bring that back where we see more people, and I'm super, super curious to know if the racers themselves are seeing these glitches in the game. So it looks like Craig is attacking, and he is wheel number 1, so he's just putting in a little effort there, and everyone's kind of following. So no fireworks really going on. This is a long stretch of road right here in Richmond. If you look at the mini map in the top right-hand corner, you see where they're going. So they're going to just be on this road for a little while, and it's pretty much flat, a little gradual uphill, which towards the end of the race you actually do feel. So Shalom is asking me to follow Patrick English. Let's see if I can find Patrick. Which group is he in? If I can find Patrick, I will definitely go over and see what's going on with Patrick English. So the A's are just about halfway done. Last week's race was about 41 minutes, I believe. So they are 22 minutes in, and they are all together. Let's see. I just saw a familiar name that's been he's been excited to get on Zwift lately. He's a Canadian Olympian track star that has retired recently and actually runs the Los Angeles Velodrome that's in Carson. I believe now it's the Dignity Health Center. So Travis Smith is in the B's. Track he turned Zwifter. I think he's going to be getting in the A's pretty soon because he's been in the top 10, top 20 consistently as a trackie. So he's definitely learning how to race Zwift. Shout out to WPTAZ. Man, how's this guy giving me acronyms and he's racing in the A race? See, those ex-pros, man, they have all that residual. They could just do anything they want. So Patrick English is in the A group. I will do my best to find him. I also just saw another familiar name that comes from track racing. Another Olympian, actually, a sprinter. So I wonder if these two actually raced each other back in the day. And that is Jeff LeBeau. Where is Jeff? He disappeared on me. Try to find him. There's Critwit. Oh, Jeffrey, where are you? Oh, there he is. I can't moving around too fast. I should follow him on Zwift Companion, so it'll be a little easier for me to get a hold of him. There he is. Oh, he moved on me. On Zwift Companion. Let's see. There he is. So here's Jeff LeBeau, big guy, sprinter out of the USA, represented United States at a bunch of World Cups, World Championships. I'm not sure if he made the Olympic team or not, but back then, the competition he had for making the team was guys like Marty Narstein and stuff like that. But we were at some camps together back in the day, but never officially raced against or with each other because he was geared towards sprinting. I was more endurance athlete. So kind of cool to see these trackies take to Zwift. You could look at it, his avatar. You can tell he's using his real weight. He's a bigger fella. Those trackies, all they do is lift weights, eat, and do sprints. So they put on a lot of weight so they can deliver a lot of power. Upwards of, I don't know, 2,000 plus watts. Oh, so WPTAZ is Wolfpack Tasmania, I guess. Yep, and Shalom's talking about some of the women in the Beats group. Kate Barano, Esther Walker. I got a chance to race some single speed races with Esther, and she's definitely a dominant rider. So let's see if I can find some of them. Where is everyone? You know what? Let's check out the C group again. The C's are always our biggest group. I tried to race the C's a couple weeks ago, but Zwift wouldn't allow me. So maybe I need to stop racing for a while so I can downgrade. So we're back to Travis Johnson. If you saw our PSA about COVID and how we're reacting to group rides, he was in that PSA. So long time friend, good guy, Boeing employee, took to Zwift, and it looks like these guys are just kind of cruising along. You can see that feather power up there. That's probably the best power up you can get in Zwift is the feather. Just makes you lighter. So if you're throwing down some killer watts, it'll just make you go faster. So I'm just going to cruise through here. So our D group looks like 5 out of 9 right here. So she's kind of in no man's land. I'm sorry if I said she. I don't know if it's she or... Oh, no, these are the ladies, right? I believe so. I'm all over the place here. Yep, definitely is. So she's in no man's land, the worst place to be. But if you can hold on, it's a good place to be. So skipping over back to the A's, I'm going to try to find Patrick English. I just saw him. Get a hold of him, see what he's doing in group. So it looks like he has the green jersey. Patrick English. Is he on a Tron bike as well? He is, with a visor on. Oh no, he doesn't have the visor on. Can't race in a visor. Come on, it'll fly right off. But he's definitely on a Tron bike, so he's been kicking up some dust on Zwift, climbing those mountains. And look at that. There's a group of 2 off the front, and he's trying to bridge over doing 6.4 watts per kilo. But Kay Lewis from all the way from Australia, that's our Tassie, that's doing 4.8 watts per kilo. And as I said, they are now 21.5 kilometers in. And English has to make a big effort, and they are now creating a gap because, look, they are now 4 seconds behind, 5 seconds behind. Oh, you guys better start working together. So Kellyson is on the front right now, followed by Sean Jefferson and then Craig Taylor and E. Chan. And then my boy from Canada is kind of sitting back. Boyko. Did I say that right? Boyko? Gonna have to get up there and do some work because 5 seconds in Zwift is really like 30 seconds in the real world. So if they don't bring that back within the next, I don't know, 30 seconds, you don't want this thing to stretch out to 10 seconds. It's pretty much a formality after that. So as you can see, they are stretching it out now to, okay, still around 4 seconds, but they're gonna have to really dig deep and bring these guys back. And it doesn't look like anyone's chasing. They may be content because there is a Zwift employee up there. Let's see what he's doing. He's won a couple of these races already. I believe it's about 11 in the morning over there. 11. What, this is Tuesday. It's got to be about 11 or 10 a.m. on Wednesday down under. So they have now pushed it out to 9 seconds. They are gone. They're absolutely gone. They're done. So we have Kay Lewis, Matt Johnson, and P. English. So Shalom was just talking about P. English. He made it across. P is, what's his first name? Patrick. So Patrick English is off the Frizzant, and Shalom called it. Shalom. All right. Let's skip over to another category and see what's going on in the B's. This is now Marco Rodriguez, familiar name from SoCal, racing with, I think his profile has South Bay Woman, so maybe he's still racing for South Bay Woman. He's leading the group right now. Man, I wish I could race the B's or the C's. Look at this group. Nice big group. And they are 30 minutes in, and I believe all of these categories are doing 5 or 6 laps, so they have a little ways to go. I believe they're doing roughly 50 minutes for the race, where the A's are doing about 41, 42 minutes. So Wes Salzberger wants to know what Patrick sprints like. Shalom, can you answer that? I don't know how Wes is racing and talking about sprints. I could barely drink water and without messing up. So there's Crit Wit rocking the Lagrange Cycling Club uniform. Lagrange is one of our biggest clubs in Southern California, and that's the 50th anniversary kit, which we got into Zwift about a year ago, actually. We did an activation with them at one of the biggest bike shops around, Helen's Bike Shop. They have a few locations, Westwood, Manhattan Beach. Santa Monica is their biggest shop. But pretty cool kit, celebrating 50 years. The Bahati Foundation is definitely catching up. Only 40 more years to go. Will be our 50 years. So Shalom says Patrick, he doesn't think he can beat the likes of like Corey and Justin, which I don't see those two racing tonight, but he can definitely run top 5. So in other words, Wes, he can beat you. Wes can't sprint to save his life. So good luck with that, Wes, because you guys let him go anyway. So you guys are going for 4th place. And if you look to the left, you just saw the A's. So the B's are actually doing a really good job. They're keeping really good pace. They're only about a kilometer behind the A group. So it'll be pretty funny if the B's catch them. But if they keep wilding out like the way they're doing right now with these glitches, they'll never catch them. So let's find our other categories, see what's going on in the C's and the D's and the A's. Let's see which group is this. So the D group running 3rd place. Hijazi. I can't tell. That's like, oh, it's an American flag. All right, I thought it was like somewhere else, but man, these glitches are absolutely crazy tonight. So it looks like there's just a small little group right off the front of the D's that they're trying to latch on to. Only 3 seconds, so they could do it here. Look like someone has their USAC license. They just push out to 4 seconds. So Maharaj and Hijazi could actually, if they could work together to bring the two back in front. They're only at 3 seconds, definitely manageable. What I would do right here is kind of kick really hard and make up some time through these corners, because it's funny, you know, in the real world, when you get to a corner, in your mind you saying like slow down, coast, catch your breath. Where on Zwift, it's the perfect time to kind of hit it and make up a little bit of time, which they did. You know, it's back to 3 seconds versus 4, so we'll keep an eye on them and see if they can latch on. We'll skip back over to the A's race, where Jason Paez looks like he had a little bit of maybe a glitch or something like that. He's definitely not a guy to get dropped, so let's find someone else. Our Tazi, who's been ripping up A's race. Did someone bridge across? Boom! I missed it. Someone actually bridged across. The Canadian himself actually bridged across. That's impressive. Ganoski. Oh my goodness. Wow. So that's pretty impressive. So ODZ has 2 riders in the front. So I wonder now, will they take sides? Will it be 2 against 2? Or is it going to be a free-for-all? That's going to be interesting. So they are now 40 seconds up on the lead group. And they probably have about 2 laps to go. So within the next 6 to 7 minutes, the A's will be done. So let's get up close and personal. Wow, he's doing 8 point. Lewis is doing 8.1 watts per kilo, 526 watts right now. Putting a hurt on these guys. He's definitely the guy to beat. He's already proven he could win. So I'm gonna skip back. This is kind of like a formality right now between these 4. It's going to come down to the last lap. I don't believe anyone will attack early because it's a very long lap. But you never know. It's bike racing. And so I'm going to come back to these guys in about a couple minutes and see what's going on. Go back over to the B's race. See if there's any fireworks. Oh, wait a second. Let's see the old man, 69 years young, in the B race and hanging. So Richie, newly retired man, hanging out in the B race at 69 years old. It's pretty impressive to be 69 and rolling with these guys. He's got to work on his sock game, though. No ankle socks, bruh. Come on, Richie. No ankle socks. And you look tall, too, man. He's only 173 centimeters, so we got to work on that avatar. He's looking real tall. It looks like everyone's the same height in Zwift, though, so maybe that's something we can fix later on. You definitely could tell the weight, but the height, everyone looks the same. So, dude, I'm actually extremely impressed that Richie's he's new to Zwift, and he's out here hanging out with the B category. He could have very easily opted into C's or the D's, but he's going to get workout. He's new to Zwift, so happy to see him on. So this group is 36.5 minutes in, 27.7 kilometers. They should be looking at 3 laps ago. So they will be on pace for about a 50-minute race, which is not easy. Here's another gentleman who is a friend of mine, and oh, what's up, Shorts? Short gave up, 65 plus. He's actually 67 years old. So it's kind of always cool to see them out there racing against the youngins. See if I can get back to the B race, which we were just in, but I was trying to see if I can find a particular rider like Esther or something like that, to see how she's faring up in the group. All right, well, since I can't find her, I'm going to move over to the C race. See the fireworks going on there. So, look at that. Travis Johnson riding the front right now. One thing that is missing from the Richmond course right here is a lap counter. In Crit City, there's a lap counter up to the right. Maybe that's something I can flag up to our events team to make sure we get a lap counter. So for those of you watching at home, from my point of view, if I was actually racing, at the top of the screen, it'll have a lap countdown. So it'll say like 4 out of 6, 5 out of 6. But in Crit City, you could actually see a number countdown on the course, which is pretty cool. You know, it really gives you that race vibe. So it'd be cool to get something like that on these big circuits. So it looks like the Bahati Foundation cycling team is still represented pretty heavily in the C category. Again, we're following Travis Johnson, and I'm gonna skip back over to the A's race. Excuse me. So the A's, our lead group, have already caught, it looks like, the C category, and so they're at least 40 seconds ahead. And right now I'm following Sean Jefferson, who's actually a runner turned cyclist. So we got a runner in the group. We have a tri guy in the group. We have an ex World Tour racer in the group. And let's see if I can find the lead group now. Yep, there they are. See what's going on up there. So again, as I predicted, they're gonna just kind of ride together. You know, what's gonna come down to who has the best power up. I think the power up is going to be, in my opinion, the deciding factor, because if you have the truck, the aero helmet, or the feather, those are the three things you're going to want to need for a sprint. Things like the burrito, the ghost, it's not going to help you against these three strong individuals that are off the front, and they are long gone. It'd be interesting to see if they are actually sharing any of the workload, or if they're just kind of riding together as like four abreast. So as I say that, he's starting to kick a little bit just to make sure everyone's doing their fair share. And it looks like they are kind of sharing the workload. And you may think, what do you mean workload? You actually do have a little bit of a drafting effect in Zwift. It's not like the real world. But however, there is some drafting involved. And cool thing here, for the most part, these four guys, they're all equal because they're all on the same bike. I think they're pretty equal when it comes to the sprint. Do have aero specialized helmets on, two don't. So we'll see if any of that plays into the finale. So they'll make a left right here, which he just did, and they'll take this for a very long time. This is a little 4%, and he's actually, oh my goodness, he's on the attack. Let's see if I can see what's going on behind him. Uh-oh, wrong one. Oh, and they're not following. So Kay Lewis from Tasmania is at least the Tassie cycling team. What was it? Wolfpack Tasmania has just put the hurt on these guys. Matt Johnson is chasing at 7.3 watts per kilo, but he's not even watching what Lewis is doing at matching what Lewis is doing at 7.5 watts per kilo. So look at that. He already put 7 seconds on the group. This is a hard section to me because it's slightly uphill, and as the race gets going, you get a little tired. I wonder if he's actually on his last lap. Because he's 43 minutes in. He could be going into the finish right here. I can't tell because I don't have a lap counter, unfortunately. So it's either he's going to the one to go or he's finishing, and we'll find out pretty soon. But according to the time, 43 minutes in, more than likely he's finishing. So let's go back and see what these guys are doing. It doesn't look like they're chasing at all. They're just kind of hanging out doing this glitchy thing. And you can see Lewis up the road there. He still have a little ways to go, but once he gets through this next little roundabout, he has about maybe about 800 meters to go. So this is the last straight before you have the 180 to finish. If you look on the mini map at the top right-hand corner, which I'm actually blocking so you can't see it. But if I go to this view right here, as he approach the midway point, you will see the finishing arch just off to the left. It's green there. So it looks like, yep, that's it. So he could be finishing right now. He's already put 15 seconds into Matt Johnson, P. English, and A. Boyko. We will find out soon enough. It looks like Matt Johnson has just attacked. So if I can get back, my keyboard's kind of sensitive. If I can get back to Matt, I can see. Yep. So Matt has attacked. and he is. It's onesie twosies now. They're gonna come in one at a time. So let's go back to Lewis. He's now rounding the last corner. Yeah, I believe they're going to be finishing right now. So they messed up my predicament by waiting to the last lap. They actually attacked each other. And no. All right, there it is. It looks like K. Lewis for the win here. Let's see. So he crossed the line. Nope, they're still racing. So are you telling me they have another lap? Oh my goodness. Come on, stop doing that. So it looks like they have one more lap. So the pace is a little slower today than usual. So one lap to go. Very long lap by yourself. Let's see what's Salzberger and these guys. I don't know. They may be sprinting for the finish. That could have been the finish there. It's hard to tell because I don't have it in front of me. You know what? I think it is the finish. Yep, definitely the finish. So we got our results already. So what I'm going to do is just kind of float through and find the other categories, see what's going on. So Jeff LeBeau is in first place right now in the B's, and looks like he was just kind of opening up his legs, but maybe he had a dropout too because he's not doing any he's not doing any watts right now. Yeah, I'm super confused with what's going on. Looks like everyone's sprinting. It is. So everyone's sprinting. Wow, that was a close finish, and I totally missed it. Looks like one of the Bahati Foundation riders were in there as well. Crit Wit is now giving it a go. I'm all confused. I'm sorry. It's hard to tell what's going on here, and it's kind of doing it on its own because I think everyone is kind of dropping out of the race because the race is over. So I guess it was fun while it lasted. This is not like the most legit way of streaming the event, but it is a cool way to kind of watch a little bit of it and figure out what's going on. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up with the C's. They should be finishing pretty soon. As you could tell, they have a little ways to go, maybe about another 3K. So we're just going to go ahead and stay on board with this group. Decent group. 24 riders left. It looks like only 2 have been dropped. So decent group there. Let's see who else I can find in this group. So Kenneth Vincent is actually still in the group, which is pretty cool. I know he was having a difficult time when it first started, even getting on the platform, but now he's a Zwift connoisseur, and be interesting to see how he can finish with all the training he has been doing in the C race. So the C's have a little bit of ways to go. Let's skip over to Victor Rosales. He is off the back there. And don't be embarrassed to get dropped in Zwift. It's always tough. I've gotten dropped plenty of times. So we're back on board with Major Taylor of LA, Travis Johnson. He's floating the boat right now in the back, punching tickets. And honestly, the back of Zwift racing is the toughest place to be at because it's hard. So they looks like they have about maybe 2.5 kilometers to go, and they will be sprinting it out. So we'll keep an eye on the C race. See some familiar names in the C's. Tony, Greg, Howard, Travis, Ken, Derek. Oh, nice. Derek's there. A Nor Cowboy. Derek is off the back of the C's race by about a minute and a half. So not a good day for Derek. We'll go ahead and give him a ride on anyway. And this should take us back to the C race. A little 2% uphill here. So towards the end of the race, these little gradual uphills don't feel like much, but they actually hurt a little bit. I wonder why Ken is not racing with a heart rate monitor, but you can tell his watts are really low. 67. His cadence is really low at 67 RPMs. Yep. So he didn't wait for the sprint at all, Wes Salzberger. But the B race was good. Steve Beckett and Kate backed them up with Zwift headquarters, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, the B race had a bunch of Zwift employees. We like to call them Utopians in the event. So we're gonna have a debrief on our team bus about how we can do better next week, and rest assured I will be racing next week. So we're gonna finish this up with the C race, and they have about a kilometer and a half to go, so they should be sprinting pretty soon. They're on pace with doing a sub 52 53 minute race. So they will go up here, go through this roundabout, and continue to go straight and have their 180, and then they will unleash the sprint. So it looks like though there's a break in the C race. There is, so bit of a gap in the C race. They are so co-mingled with some of the B's, and so this is Hartman right here from Long Beach. He is riding in first position. So looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 7 riders off the front in the B race. I wonder who SF. He has Bahati Foundation tag under his name, so he's definitely representing the Bahati Foundation. He is in the lead group, so we'll keep an eye on this group for the finish. Again, they are co-mingled with some of the B's. That's all right. They're going to be sprinting pretty soon. Let's see who's going to wind it up first for the finish. So you can see the finishing banner right there. So they're now at about 800 meters to go. You can see the power-ups start to be used and all these crazy glitches going on. You can see the truck, the burrito, not really a factor right now. But man, this is so crazy that it's glitching like this. So it looks like they're going to just roll all the way to the last corner and open up a sprint. Hopefully these glitches go away, and let's see what happens. Yep, so they're definitely sprinting here. I see some big watts coming out of El Cho. 6.7 watts per kilo. Let's see who's up here. Team ODZ. Oh, and here comes a late push. Who is that? Romero. It was going to be close. Oh, I went to the wrong one. There it is. Castaneda with the win there, it looks like. So I'm going to skip back to the second group. Let's see where they are, if I can find them quickly. Oh, no, I missed them. Too bad. Anyway, that's how it goes. So this is our last category on the course. P. Murray out of San Diego is in second place. So it looks like Bates is 3 minutes and 19 seconds ahead sure is. Cruising at 3.7 watts per kilo. She should be finishing up here, so she's going to take a very convincing win, putting over 3 minutes on second place, and I'm not sure where third and fourth is at on the course, but they're definitely out there. So congrats to our E category winner. I wonder how long she's been up the front, smashing the pedals. It'd be cool if you could do like if you could push a couple buttons and it gives you like a celebration, you know, like hands up or something like that. That'd be kind of dope. So here's that helicopter view of Bates crossing the finish line, which will be coming up in the next about, I don't know, 15 seconds. There it is. So our winner chicken dinner. And then in second place will be P. Murray out of San Diego. And we have 2 more out on the course. So congratulations. See if I get to... Yep. So not far behind, just about 3 minutes. And that was it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you got a chance to kind of look at what Zwift racing is all about. And this is our D category. They had 9 riders today, and this is our front group, which looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 racers in the very front group. So they have a little ways to go to the finish. Looks like, I don't know, maybe about 3K. So they're going to be finishing up pretty strong here in the next few minutes. So they should finish just under an hour, which is a nice workout. But anyway, thanks again for watching me go over some of what Zwift racing is all about. Don't be afraid to share that. Don't be afraid to share this and get on the platform if you want. There's easy ways to get on. You don't have to buy a smart trainer. You can check it out at first by using a dumb trainer and a speed sensor or even a power meter, and give it a go and see what you think about it. So anyway, thanks again. Good luck to the rest of the racers on the course, and I will see you next week. Ciao.